Hello World Business Dialogue crew, I'm Gonzalez, a student of economics at the Catholic University of Ecuador. Today I'm going to talk about a worrying global issue that affects us all, and how a small country like Ecuador has brought a big initiative that addresses sustainable development challenges for a better world. Everybody talks about the current financial crisis, but what about global warming crisis, pollution crisis, resource depredation crisis, and in general, world's environmental crisis?
A significant global warming of the atmosphere would have serious effects on the environment. It would accelerate the melting of polar ice caps, raise the sea level, change the climate regionally and globally, alter the natural vegetation, and affect crops. Energy systems could be created that would cause virtually no pollution. Furthermore, worldwide economic development can proceed without harming the environment. Yet, the destructive technology that we continue to use, based in fossil fuels, will have consequences for many years to come. Global warming will affect just about everyone, and even though it is primarily a small number of nations that are responsible for greenhouse gas emissions.
These environmental issues are much more dangerous than weapons of mass destruction. Yet since most politicians do not often think beyond their terms, they feel no urgency to risk their political future to forge a 50 or 100-year policy that may be required. Consequently, the problem is that any solution seems to be a long-term solution, with a low probability of getting done, or isn't it? A big initiative comes from a small developing Latin American country, Ecuador.
Ecuador is one of the most biologically diverse countries in the world, and is also noted for the richness and variety of its indigenous cultures. Ecuador is also known for its vast crude oil reserves, and this product became the centerpiece of the national economy since 1972. There have been recently found large deposits of heavy crude oil in the Ispingo-Tambococha-Tipotini ITT field, which is located in the Yasuni National Park, one of the most important and diverse biological reserves in the world, and home to the Tagaeri Taromenani, indigenous peoples living in voluntary isolation.
Here is where Ecuador fulfills a pioneer action, as the first country in the world to formally offer the entire planet a win-win proposal, with social and environmental benefits.
The initiative consists in maintaining the crude oil in the ITT field, 20% of the Ecuador's crude oil reserves, indefinitely underground within the Yasuni National Park, in order to put social and environmental values first, and to explore other ways to benefit the country economically.
In order to fulfill this, Ecuador asked the international community to contribute at least half of the revenue that the government of Ecuador would receive by extracting the oil.
The initiative also proposes a new cooperative model between developed and developing countries. It is an opportunity for the world to consider more just and equitable paradigms of sustainable development, which in Ecuador is conceived as summa causae, or life at its fullest. As part of Ecuador's commitment to indefinitely refrain from extracting the 846 million barrels of heavy crude oil reserves in the ITT field within the Yasuni National Park, currently estimated at $7.2 billion, and prevent the emission of 407 million metric tons of carbon dioxide, which would result from burning these fossil fuels. it has established the Yasuni-ITT Trust Fund to enable the international community to channel financial contributions towards reduction of CO2 emissions, prevention of cultural and biological diversity, and poverty reduction. The Yasuni Fund's capital will be directed only to investment in renewable energy projects, supporting new pioneer politics of equitable and sustainable development, taking advantage of the country's vast hydroelectric, geothermal, biomass, tide, wind, and solar potential.
This initiative becomes an option for the future, an option without which it turns out to be really difficult to accomplish to fulfill their goal of reducing world's 80% of greenhouse gases by 2050. This will bring enormous positive effects on worldwide behavior, as it directly addresses climate change and sustainable development challenges by changing Ecuador's energy matrix through investment in environmentally friendly and socially inclusive renewable energy projects, which other countries might follow as a good example.
Thank you for your attention.